Arkad stood in front of a brickmaker named Nomasir, not his son, but a namesake, a young man who had just saved his very first 10 pieces of silver and did not know what to do with them. "Keep them safe under a loose stone in your floor," the young man said, half joking. "Is that not the point? To keep them?" Arkad shook his head slowly. "A coin sitting under a stone is a coin doing nothing, and a coin doing nothing is worth exactly as much in 10 years as it is worth today. Less, if you count what it could have become. Then what should I do with it?" "Put it to work," Arkad said. "Not spend it. Work it. Lend it. Invest it. Place it where it can labor for you, the way you labor for your master. And here is the part almost no young man believes, until he sees it with his own eyes. Every coin your gold earns can itself be put to work earning more. Your gold does not simply grow. It breeds. It has children. And in time, those children have children of their own." Arkad told him the story of his own first 10 pieces of silver, lent long ago to a shield maker named Agar, who needed bronze to fill an order for the city guard. Arkad did not simply take his silver back with a little extra added on. He left the profit in place, lending it out again the next season and the season after that. What began as 10 pieces of silver, left alone to compound year after year, rather than spent the moment it grew, eventually became a sum so large that Arkad himself, decades later, struggled to remember it had ever started so small. "This is the third cure," Arkad said. "Make thy gold multiply. A fattening purse that only sits and grows through your own labor will always grow slowly, because you can only work so many hours in a day. But gold that is put to work has no such limit. It labors for you while you sleep, while you eat, while you sit with your family in the evening. It does not tire. It does not ask for rest." The young brickmaker looked skeptical, the way most people do the first time they hear this, because 10 silver pieces earning a little interest sounds like nothing worth discussing. Arkad understood the doubt completely. He said the danger of compounding is that it looks like almost nothing is happening for a very long time, and then suddenly it looks like everything happened all at once. Centuries later, one investor would prove Arkad's exact point using numbers instead of parables. Warren Buffett, by nearly every measure the most successful investor in modern history, built almost the entirety of his fortune not through some early stroke of genius, but through decades of steady compounding that simply kept going long after most people would have stopped to spend their gains. In her biography of him, titled The Snowball, the writer Alice Schroeder described exactly what her title implied. Wealth built this way behaves like a snowball rolled down a very long hill. It starts small. For a long, unremarkable while, it barely seems to be growing at all. And then, because it never stopped rolling, the size it reaches near the bottom of the hill bears almost no visible relationship to the size it started as at the top. The overwhelming majority of Buffett's own net worth, by his own account, was built after he had already passed the age most men consider retirement. Not because his early savings were unimportant, but because those early savings had been given decades to compound. Quietly, patiently, without interruption. This is why Arkad refused to let his students touch the profit their gold earned. "Spend the fruit of the tree," he warned, "and you will never grow an orchard. Leave the fruit to fall and take root beside the original tree, and in time, you will have a forest." The young brickmaker left 10 pieces of silver with a trusted grain merchant that week, at fair and honest terms, and told no one, because he did not yet trust himself not to spend it if it sat visible in his own hands. The moral of the story is, gold that works never sleeps, and the patience to let its earnings grow untouched is worth more in the end than any single fortune a man could ever earn by labor alone.